living room, rolled up under his armpit.
All right. What's going on, everybody? That was an interesting intro there from UDM.
Oh, man. My bad.
Well, anyway, what's going on, everybody? What's going on, everyone? My name is Pete, but you probably already knew that. But in case you didn't, you guys are watching Paid to Drive. But more specifically, you're watching The Driver's Den, episode 7. That's right. I apologize about my absence from last week. Was dealing with some stuff at home. But we're good to go. We're in a new year. We're in a new time. And with that being the case, I would like to introduce my two co-hosts, as always. We got the great UDM. What's up, UDM? Say what's up.
What's up, guys? I started off bad.
But you ended strong, and that's important. What's going on, guys? And, of course, how could we leave out Mr. Tony, Team LMDU? Say what's up.
What's going on, everybody?
Wow. And I would like to just mention today, for all my old school wrestling fans out there, I'd like to give my condolences to Mr. Mean Gene Okerlund. He passed today. And big part of my childhood. I know Tony as well. Not sure about UDM, but I'd like to just mention that. So I'm going to dedicate this podcast on behalf of him. So going forward, guys, I've been talking about this, ever since GrubHub has been making changes with how we can reach out and contact them. Some people are saying they're having no problems contacting driver care, but others are having more issues. Me in particular, I had an issue the other day where I needed to reach out to driver care. I tried the old phone number. That didn't work. I tried the phone number within the app. It takes you to customer care. And I feel like we're just having some issues getting over to driver care. Like, I feel like the customer care reps are trying to do whatever they can to rectify the situation, whatever it is. But I just still prefer to speak to someone at driver care, because those are the ones that are meant to deal with us as drivers specifically, whereas the customer care reps are there to really work for everyone. You know what I mean? So I'm just curious, before we start taking questions from everyone in the chat or whoever's here, UDM and Tony, have you guys had any issues reaching out, needing assistance from driver care? And has everything been streamlined lately, or have you been having any issues? I just want to start with that.
My first experience with the in-app deal that we're supposed to do now wasn't a very good one. I had an issue I was trying to reach out to them for, and that said I had 56 people ahead of me in the queue. And needless to say, they never got back to me.
I had a similar situation last night where it was about 74 people ahead of me in the queue. And then another driver that I know in my market, they had an issue where it was 128 people in the queue. Wow. And it kind of like got him disappointed. Like, should I even reach out to these people? I'd rather call customer care.
Yeah, for sure.
See, that's what I'm saying, man. It's almost like GrubHub is taking a page out of DoorDash's book. Because this is how DoorDash's driver care was set up. And to be perfectly honest, I have heard nothing but complaints about DoorDash drivers trying to reach out to get help, So, I don't know.
Yeah, it's a pain in the butt. In the time it takes to text back and forth with these guys, you already could have had the issue resolved over the phone. You know what I mean?
Sure. Sure, exactly. Because I'm not going to lie, man. A lot of people in the past said they didn't have great experiences with driver care. I beg to differ, because anytime I ever called them and got through, they handled the situation within a minute or two. And I was good to go. As long as they're telling you, if the customer's not, answering the door, if they're not answering text messages or phone calls or doorbells or whatever, sit around, wait 5-6 minutes, and then mark it as delivered and move on. I feel like the customer care reps are they're telling you to wait longer. I've heard a couple of people say that customer care said to wait 10 to 15 minutes. And I'm like, dude, I can't. Every minute counts when you're on the clock, man. Like I'm saying, in my market in particular, I usually can do, like I've said in the past, 2 to 2.5, maybe 3 orders in an hour on a really good day. But that 10, 15 minutes of waiting around because the customer's not picking up or whatever, or not answering the door, that hurts, man. That really hurts, especially when you're on limited time. So
that's money. That's
money. It is money. It is money. I want to ask everybody in the chat right now, when you guys call customer care or driver care, how long do they usually say for you guys to wait? It used to always be about 5 minutes for me. What are you guys? How long are you guys waiting? What about you, UDM and Tony? About how long do they usually tell you to wait these days?
I've always gotten 5 minutes. I've heard from other people the longer wait times, but personally, I've never been told more than 5 minutes.
Right. Exactly.
As far as I go, I don't know if people can hear me. I know they've had an issue with that in the past, but as far as I go, I haven't had an issue with them making me wait. I have pretty much taken a lot of things into my own hands. I don't even call customer care as much anymore, just to be honest with you.
Yeah, I had a feeling someone was going to mention that they're kind of taking things into their own hands. It seems like that's your best option based on the information that we already know from the past. You know what I mean? My whole thing is, I used to like it when I would call driver care and they said they would document that I called and that they gave the okay to leave. Because I get comments all the time from drivers telling me their stories about how certain driver care reps, might tell them, yeah, no problem, or whatever, or they take it in their own hands. They wait 5-10 minutes, they mark it delivered, and then customer care calls and says, hey, why didn't they get their food? You know what I mean? And now you're arguing with customer care while you're on the next delivery, and it's screwing your head up. You know what I mean? And that right there, I feel really causes issues. Do you guys agree with that? Anyone in the chat, or you guys?
Yeah, I agree with that for sure, man. I'm totally on the same page with you on that one. It's a pain in the ass,
It definitely is. I agree with it as well. There's been so many issues going on since they started doing this thing the way DoorDash does it, that I've had some bad issues as well after they released this new update, so to speak. So I'm just more like, I'm gonna do whatever I can do while I have this person's order. If I got to contact them, I'm just going to contact them and let them know the situation versus me trying to update an ETA and all that extra stuff. And I'm like, yeah, I got to wait. I will say there is a plus about the customer care, though. They respond a lot faster when they pick up the phone. That's all I got.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
Yeah, for sure. Like I said, the time it takes you to type all this crap out, it could have been done with, over and done with during your next order,
Exactly. Dark Road Run says, I give them 5 minutes before I ring all their neighbors' doorbells.
If it's an apartment building with all those buttons, just run your hand down all of them, man.
Like the little kids do on the elevators where they just hit all the buttons.
Yeah. I'm guilty. I still do it.
So James Ruffalo said, I had that happen to me in an apartment building in the middle of a cold night. Well, it was actually 10, and my hands were freezing, and I was waiting like 20 minutes to try and find this apartment, and nobody was answering the phone, and customer care told me to wait, and I told them I've been here, and eventually after 4 phone calls, they told me to mark it delivered. See, this is the exact problem that I'm talking about. RJ Silvestri, how much time should I wait for one order? Supposedly it's 5 minutes to 10 minutes. I would say 5 minutes, but call customer care and let them know, that what you're doing. Just let them know anyway. At least try calling if you run into that situation. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, he was saying how he waited like 20 minutes and 4 phone calls later. What were you saying?
Well, all I was going to say is, I know I have it pre-planned in my head. If I come into a situation where I have to call customer care and they tell me to wait, I'm going to call ahead of time before I even get to the customer, or whatever. Like, I'll try to call the customer before I get there, and that's it. I don't know. As far, I'm over here looking for an address. I can't multitask for nothing. I'm looking for an address,
all right.
And I'm trying to answer this question. Go ahead.
No problem.
Go ahead with the stream. I apologize.
Well, Tony, if you want to, no, you're good. Tony, if you want to jump on that, if you'd like, you feel free.
Well, I'm sorry. What was I had something over here going on. What was the question? Squirrel. Shit. What was the question? I'm sorry.
No, basically what he was saying is about how James was saying that he got stuck in an apartment complex for about 20 minutes and he had to make about 4 phone calls to customer care before somebody actually. It's like really at this situation, I feel like everyone is kind of getting screwed, for lack of better words. The customer's getting screwed because they're not getting their food because they're not answering the door or their calls. Customer care is doing whatever they can do. And then the driver's getting screwed because the driver's should leave or not. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like I said, it's holding them up. You know, you're gonna sit there and do all that. It's just like waste time. Yeah.
The RJ said, "I've been waiting for 1 hour and 15 minutes." What? And the care talk has a good tip. I'm waiting for more than an hour. I don't know about that, man. Is that happening right now, RJ? Like right now as we speak?
Damn.
An hour, dude?
Oh, no way. I'm sorry. No way.
I ever waited was 15 minutes, and that happened like once.
Yeah. I wouldn't be waiting around like that. I'd be like, you know, reassign or whatever, you know.
This was for a customer.
Yeah. Let's see. Well, I'm trying to read the chat. She said it happened to him too. What's up, Eddie? How are you? DFW. Yep, the ADHD is strong. I'm bugging them and calling them for about 5 times. RJ, is this a delivery to a house? Is it an apartment? Is it an office? What kind of place is it that you're trying to deliver to? See, people are telling them to reject it, and they keep telling me to wait.
DFW food delivered, reject.
But do you see the problem here? They're saying that they're telling him to wait.
Yeah, that's not.
It's an embassy hotel.
You know what? I don't feel anyone should have to
wait a minute
that long. I apologize. Go ahead.
No. Sorry, I wasn't trying to cut you off, but I just was thinking of something. If it's a hotel, did you go into the hotel? Are you did you go to the front desk? Does it say a room number or anything like that? Because if it says a room number, you can go to the front desk and give the name that it says on there, and they could try calling up to the room. I would suggest that, right, guys?
Yeah, for sure. Call. You know.
Yeah, go to the front desk for sure.
Yeah, a lot of times I get stopped at the front desk. They do it all for me.
Penny said I had an order today. Text on my way, which I always do. No response. I got to the house, used the doorbell, knocked, called, and went to the voicemail. Texted nothing. Customer care didn't help. RJ, what do you mean it's on the text? What does that mean? Customer.
This whole situation about that person waiting for an hour for the customer. I don't feel like it's because that's, if customer care is telling people wait, that's not cool at all.
No, it's not. They cannot let me in because the customer is not in the room. I feel really bad for this guy RJ over here. He's really in a pickle. They're saying the hotel cannot let me in because the customer's not in the room.
That's weird.
It is weird. And TV Golfer, I apologize about you getting paused for 90 days. If anybody else here is paused, and they want to reach out to help out TV Golfer, feel free. Did they say why that happened? RJ, that's not your problem. Mark delivered and moved on and move on. Honestly, let's take a poll. How many of you guys by this point would have already marked it delivered and moved on? Comment 111 if you would have. If you were waiting over an hour. Comment 222 if you keep waiting. I'm just kind of curious, what other people would do, because this is the exact problem that I was talking about. This is why I was thinking of this topic today, just mainly for the fact that it really puts the driver in an awkward situation. Now the food's getting cold, you know what I mean, or whatever the food is, You know, it's not going to be at the temperature it's supposed to be eaten at.
Right.
And you're
Everyone
getting
is
more requests while you're waiting, probably. You know.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You know?
I would, but you know what? I would also like cover my ASS big time. Like I would show proof or take screenshots of proof that I tried multiple ways to get in contact with the customer, and then I would just be like, you know what? I'm waiting for an hour. I'm not waiting any longer. Mark it as delivered.
Yep. Screenshots all the way, man. I do that too with weird stuff, you know.
Absolutely. And email it to your driver specialist or email it to
Yep.
gdelivery@grubhub.com. Let them know, you know, because you know, now someone at Grubhub can go and say that this guy RJ just decided to keep the food for himself and didn't deliver it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's true. Someone
Right.
maybe somebody stoned and passed out, like Abe Winston said, or just someone is just tired or whatever and fell asleep. I've had people that fell asleep before when I was trying to deliver to them. It's happened like once or twice.
Texas Mama J said, I always screenshot, including with driver chat care. Always. So good.
Hotel always leaves at the desk, not allowed to go up to the rooms. Now, there have been situations where I've been told to go up to the rooms, and then there have been certain situations in the hotels where I'm told to leave the bag at the front desk.
Yeah, I've got those too. Leave it here. We'll get it to him, or we'll call him, or whatever.
RJ, what I'm going to suggest to you, brother, is take pictures of you like that, not a selfie of you. Well, you guys, I guess you could, right? Of you in front of the hotel, like with the bag, like, hey, I'm here. You know, if you want. As silly as that sounds, at least that shows proof that you were there. And there's a timestamp on the photo when you take that picture, and the date, and I think sometimes even the location. So you could screenshot all of that. I mean, and you can't lie, you know? So if you guys think that RJ should just mark it as delivered and move on, comment 111, comment 222 if you think he should just wait it out. Because honestly, at this point, I think he needs to move on, man. This is crazy.
Exactly. Move on. Time is money, and we don't got all day to be out there with one order. You know?
That's what I'm saying. I mean, even if you're working on the hourly guarantee, you know what I mean? Still, you know, I feel like Grubhub could still look at it as, oh, it looks like he was just waiting to mark it delivered, just trying to, you know, eat up the clock. Because that's what a lot of drivers do. They scam the system to get that hourly guarantee so they don't have to do anything, you know? Did he try care chat? I don't know, but I'm sure he's going to be number 305 in line.
Yeah. I was number 56, and they never got back to me.
UDM was saying I think he was like number 149 or something like that, right? It was some crazy number like that.
Damn.
It was 128.
You know what? I kind of feel eventually
128.
they might go back to the phone lines eventually. You know what I mean? Because it's garbage, the whole chat thing, you know?
Yeah, totally, man. Grubhub tells me to wait 10 minutes after they try, then mark delivered and leave. Yeah, RJ, at this point, just mark it delivered and leave, man. Don't ruin your day any more than you already have with this. But this is exactly the problem. And this is exactly what I was talking about, especially for newer drivers. I don't know how long RJ has been delivering for. Tony's definitely got a couple of years on this. I have over a year and a half. UDM's got, I think, about 7-8 months of Grubhub under his belt. And plus, he's got Uber EATS under his belt. I mean, at this point, it really seems like the only person we can rely on is ourselves. You know? At least that's how it seems.
Judgment calls now, you know? You got to make judgment calls.
Right, exactly. So that's unfortunate, man. I'm sorry that that's happening. Let's see, he's been on less than a month. That's why. That's why he didn't know what to do. See, RJ, he's been on for less than a month, which is why he's just sitting around. He doesn't know what to do.
Well, you know what? Is this the same person that's been sitting around for an hour?
Yes. Yes.
Wow. Yeah, definitely. I would be extremely frustrated. Extremely frustrated with Grubhub, with customer care. Do RJ know how to navigate throughout the app to get in contact with who he needs to get in contact with?
See, RJ, that what UDM is saying is in the driver app, if you go to the help section or if you click on cannot deliver this order, there's an option to chat with a Grubhub rep like within the app. Try that if you really, really don't want to just mark it delivered. But you may have to wait even longer. You know, what kind of food order is it, RJ? How much? How much is it? And how
Yeah,
much?
and also chat with somebody to cover your butt. You know.
Definitely. Evolution of me said UDM's going to get paused talking like that. Just kidding. Just a quick one. Anyone ever use the pay it to little when rejecting? Of course, James. Yeah, I use that all the time. That the amount is too low, especially when they're hitting you with like a $3.60 Burger King order, or KFC, or Taco Bell, or something. All the time. It's an Applebee's order. Thank you, Tony. Applebee's. Well, I'll tell you right now, the Applebee's over here, they always make me wait minimum 15, 20 minutes anyway, which is why I hate picking them up. That's right, easy peasy. They're always watching.
Applebee's. Mine's Red Robin, man. Red Robin sucks.
Dude, RJ's got a monster order. He said it's eight orders, meaning I guess like 8 meals with 3 drinks. Holy crap. Looks like you got dinner for your whole family tonight. Oh man.
That's a big one. It's a big one.
That's a big order. No wonder he doesn't want to leave.
I think
all right, Jeff.
UDM has the record on the big orders, though.
What's that?
I think he has the record on the biggest order, like 200 and something. What was it?
Oh, that was a catering order on GrubHub for work. That was a $11 order. It was 200 and I can't much remember. I think 220 something items.
Good Lord.
It was crazy, man. I had to do, I think, about 2 or 3 trips back to my car. It was crazy.
I would have went home. For the day. I'm done.
Yeah, right.
Man.
See, Trini said, Trini said GrubHub support in general is taking a huge hit, in my opinion. I'm getting a runaround for my driver payment, and my driver specialist isn't responding. I value support on these apps, and GrubHub is now low on that list. Yeah, man, that's how I've been feeling too. Seriously. What's up, Michael? Yeah. RJ, and that too. So I wait 30 minutes at Applebee's plus 1 hour and 15 minutes for the customer. Dude, he has been spending about 2 hours on this one order.
No.
Nope. Reject. Resign.
See, this is the, oh man, see, now this is upsetting me. This is getting me frustrated because this is the exact problem. I keep saying it. And now he keeps telling us more information that makes it that much worse. Because driver care at this point would have said, let's reach out to the customer in all different ways. And then they would have said, you know what, just wait 15 minutes because it's a bigger order. If nothing happens, just mark it delivered and move on. RJ, honestly, at this point, we are all witnesses here. Take all the screenshots on your phone that you're there. You know, Take a picture of the hotel. Like I said, there's a timestamp on it. Guys, if you think RJ needs to leave, comment 111 because I think he's nervous to take it into his own hands at this point. Because right now, RJ, remember, you are an independent contractor. They are taking up.
Exactly.
You could be making money. Right. Exactly. Exactly what UDM just said.
Exactly. Yep. You took the words right out of my mouth, bro. Because at the end of the day, one thing I always tell everybody that I come across in my region is you are an independent contractor. Do not be afraid to do something in the sense when you know you're the right one. Do not if you know you're right and you just stand your ground. But if you question whether you're right or wrong, then you're guilty. You get what I'm trying to say? Like don't question yourself. If you feel like you've been on that order too long, RJ, cover your behind and move on to the next, bro. That's how I feel. Because 2 hours
do what's right
too
for
long.
You. Do what's right for you.
It's too long, bro.
He said,
never been. Go ahead.
He said, but I have a lot of food.
But I have a lot of food. I would have been eating right now.
Exactly.
2 hours? No. 2 hours. I feel bad for him, Pete and Tony. I really do feel bad for him, man.
So do I. That's messed up. They're just.
But when you're new, it takes time. It takes time to get it. You know, to get the hang.
Seriously.
2 hours, and why couldn't he get in contact with the customer? The customer don't know that they have a driver on the way.
Exactly. It's like you place a giant order like that, and you're not like willing to answer the phone or anything.
And
Hell yeah, I'd be answering that phone if I spent a bunch of money, for sure.
Yeah, see, Trini, that's what I was saying. Because Trini just said, RJ, will the hotel not accept the food at the front desk? If not, dip out with the food. Finally, customers here. All right. 2 hours later, RJ. Wow. RJ, in the future, my man, do not wait 2 hours like that. I'm glad you were here. You know what? I'm glad this was the topic today, and we had a real situation happen before our very eyes right here. Everyone give him a round of applause for being a good sport, man, because let me tell you, that's abuse. That's abuse right there. Seriously.
Yep.
Now look at that.
Look at that. So
if we weren't around, then he would have been stuck going on the third hour.
I know. Could you imagine that? Could you imagine that? It would already be midnight, and this poor guy is still waiting out in the parking lot with cold food.
By that time, I'd be eating. I'd be full. That'd be it.
Oh man.
Wow. RJ, see, aren't you glad you were here for this? $12 tip on the app, which it was probably 13, 14, 15. That was probably like a $15, $16 payout. That was probably about 16 bucks, maybe 17, which is a great payout. It really is, but not worth waiting 2 hours for.
No, yeah, you break that down to like 2 hours. Oh, hell no, that's nothing per hour.
Exactly.
Yeah.
James, thank you very much for the $2 donation. Let me add you as a moderator. Everyone say thank you to James for his generosity.
Thank you, James.
Thank you, James. All right. So let's see. Let me see what everyone's saying real quick in the chat. I mean, if you guys have anything, UDM or Tony, feel free to just put it out there. I'm just reading the chat, see if we have any other questions.
Well, I don't have anything right now. No, I'm just trying to get to this other place.
Well, like I said,
no problem.
Always as a driver, always do what's right for you. Don't put up with no mess. Do what's right for you, what works for you, what makes sense for you.
Right, of course. Let me read this right now from Milad Murbad. I was delivering an order for a customer who did not pick up her phone and did not answer the doorbell. I waited for 15 minutes, called the customer service, and they said, just hit deliver and go. And I did. And then he says, then within 30 minutes, she calls me on my phone with a different number and curses me and asks me for food. I didn't know what to do. So I just hung up and called customer service again. And let's see, did he get anything else in there? No, that was it. But do you see, this is again, what happens? Like, how the hell did the customer get his phone number is the question. After the order was delivered.
Yeah, true.
Something what I've noticed, something happened to me yesterday that kind of like blew my mind a little bit, Pete. I feel like when we contact the customer, they now have a 312 number or a 646 number that they can call back. It does not cut off after you contacted the customer. So when it does not cut off, that customer can now call you 2 hours later saying, hey, what happened to my food? Go ahead.
No. I was going to say, other times I've been approached by a customer. Don't call, text me when you get here. So if you text them like on your own phone through your texting, I think they get your real number that way, or they try to get your real number that way too, if it's not through like the app.
Listen,
I heard that too.
Listen, man, I don't recommend texting or calling any customer. If you see a number that's calling you back and it does not have 1126 at the end of it, I say don't answer. 1126, it might be customer care, and some of y'all do not answer customer care anyway. But all I'm saying is, if it has 312 something 1126, that's the number I see all the time. I would not answer it.
Let me see, because I have the GrubHub. I think I've said it in the past. I have GrubHub's number as Grubhub police when they call me. Yep, 312-260-1126. Exactly what
Yeah.
you said. That's Grubhub Police right there. Whenever I see that number call, I always just take a deep breath and I'm like, okay, let's do this.
You still
Because I
got that
know.
KFC gravy from last week?
Well, yeah. See, because I know when these guys call that it's never going to be a fun situation. They're never calling just to say, "Hey, good job, you did a great job on that delivery." It's always like, "Oh, did you happen to leave some macaroni and cheese in your car?" The customer's saying they didn't get the macaroni and cheese, and it's like, "No, I didn't just take the food out and leave it in my car." Like,
hey, Pete, I got that before. I got it before that phone call, but it was like 4 days later. And they wanted to know if I still had the Kentucky Fried Chicken gravy in my car somewhere. And I'm like, no, but if I did, would they want it back now after 4 days? Come on, you know?
Wow.
I have actually had customer care reps tell me, can you just like look around your car to see if it fell out anywhere? And I'm like, dude, trust me, this bag was sealed, man. Like this was not something that fell out in my car. And I'm usually pretty good at checking around my car before I move on to the next delivery.
But it makes me question. What types of drivers do they deal with, and what kind of situations they deal with to ask us these very crazy questions? You know, that's crazy to me, man.
Listen, I have met some really interesting people that are other Grubhub drivers in my time doing this, and you never know. Like I've seen some strange folks, man, and you're kind of like, "Ooh, this guy's delivering people's food." You know, like you're like, I don't know about this guy, you know, or whoever.
Or you see people standing there with like no thermal bags, and they're just, oh yeah, you know. I'm like, really? The hell, you know?
Dude, you'd be surprised, man, how many people are not picking up food with delivery bags, man. Because I know actually, one of the restaurants that recently closed up they would not hand the driver the food if they did not have a delivery bag. They wouldn't hand it to them.
I've got some restaurants like that too.
Yep, exactly.
Now, you know what? The fact that Grubhub sends each driver their bag, you know, I feel like that's right. You know, like why would a restaurant employee hand someone a bag of food just because they're here to pick up for Grubhub? You know, there's been so many drivers or like fake drivers picking up food for just to keep it. You know, like of course put it in the bag or don't put it in the bag, but at least show that you have proof that you're a Grubhub driver. Why not? I mean, how do you guys feel about that?
Yeah,
I take
Tony.
my bag in every time.
Yeah, me too. I don't want to get any kind of complaints or anything from the restaurant or be turned down for an order because I don't have a bag. So I always bring that with me. You know.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. Also, sometimes when you're picking up that food, something might be leaking out of the bag. I mean, if you're not carrying a delivery bag, that is leaking in your car, on your seat.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd rather it leak in the bag. Like one time, I was such a moron, and I was rushing around, and I put the drink in the delivery bag as well, like a stupid idiot. And I don't remember exactly what happened, but I think I hit a bump when I was driving and it just spilled out on the bottom of my delivery bag. It didn't mess the food up because the food was in like a doubled up plastic bag, thankfully. But I remember I called driver care and I said, what should I do? The drink spilled. What should I do? They called the customer and the customer was like, don't worry about the drink. And they just gave them a discount. They basically just credited them for the drink. It's because they were cool about it. But that was my fault for doing it. But thankfully, I was in my delivery bag and not in my car. Because think about that. When you're doing that and you're working and you're spilling stuff all over your car, you're going to want to clean that before you start taking other deliveries. So now you're actually costing yourself time and money. Now you have to go clean your car. You know what I mean? Or take it to a car wash or something. So
yeah, I've had a catering order. It was a platter of like one of those tinfoil pans of black beans. It was kind of juicy. Yeah, man, I had some of that stuff leak down in my bag. It was just a pain in the butt, you know.
Oh man, speaking of catering orders, that happened to me. I had that order that I just spoke about earlier, the $1,200 order.
Yep.
That order was so huge, and I had those pans, and I had to get some extra bags from the restaurant I was picking up from, and their bags did not have a sturdy bottom, right? So all of that black bean juice and
Oh,
everything, it spilled everywhere in the bag, all on my seat, everywhere. It leaked straight through the bag. I was so pissed. And then the customer was like, "What is this?" And I'm like, "Oh, there goes a bad rating. I lose this client." And it was, damn, I never got that order again. Damn, man. That stuff, woo.
Yeah.
but that's an
Trini.
accident. But you see, you can't even get upset with yourself because that's a monster order. One person is delivering a $1,200 order. I mean, it's just the fact that only that happened is a miracle in itself. I mean,
Yeah.
you could have had bags rip open, especially when I hate when they give you the paper bags and it's like greasy and something, and then it rips open on the bottom. You know what I mean? And everything falls out. I mean, that's a whole problem all in and of itself. But yeah, and
we're out of time.
We're all out of time, guys.
Trini says caviar picking up food without an insulated bag can be a violation. Some restaurants will report that as well to me, no matter what app. Use insulated bags for obvious reasons, and that is very true. Caviar don't play. There's restaurants that they will say, don't even show up if you don't have a bag, and they don't play.
Yeah, I've heard that too. I haven't. Caviar isn't available in my market, but I have heard that from Tony in other times, and I've heard that from other people that have commented that Caviar does not play games, man, with those deliveries. They have big payouts for a reason, because they expect the driver to respect the whole process and to get that food delivered on time and the way it's meant to be delivered. You know what I mean? Which you know what? You have to admire that they have such high standards. You know what I mean? Because they're looking out for everybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But the pickup notes will literally be, if you don't have a pizza bag, do not do this order. Basically have it reassigned or whatever. But they don't play.
Exactly. So anyway, I think we've pretty much hit the topic here about how important it is to have that communication, not only with the customer, but especially with GrubHub, because look what happened to RJ. This poor guy has been working less than a month, and he waited basically almost 2 hours for like a $17 payout. RJ, I don't know if you're here, but maybe if you can confirm how much the payout was. Timothy, thank you for being here. Absolutely. But like I said, this is why it's so important. And think about it. Now that GrubHub has kind of, dissolved driver care and has made it a lot harder to get in touch with. I mean, I feel like us doing the Driver's Den and us doing these YouTube videos and being connected with you guys is like really the best source of help you can get right now, right? If you think about it.
Exactly.
So honestly, I'm glad that we're here able to answer questions as best as we can. Like, again, we are not hired by GrubHub to do these. We do these on our own free will. We're not ambassadors or advocates for them. We're just trying to help out our fellow drivers. You know what I mean? Like, you'd be surprised how many times when I'm waiting for food, at PF Chang's or one of those places where I'm waiting a while, and other drivers come in and we start talking about stuff, and they'll tell me information I didn't know, and I'll tell them information that they didn't know. You know what I mean? Because GrubHub and Uber Eats and all these companies are not telling us all the necessary information that we need to do these jobs, efficiently and successfully. You know what I mean? So that's just what it comes down.
Yeah.
Comes down. Dark Road Run says, "You guys are the real driver support."
Appreciate it, Dark Road.
We appreciate
Road
it.
Run.
So on that note, I've done quite a bit of talking here. UDM, Tony, is there anything else you'd like to add in here before we wrap this up?
Well,
I was just like, go ahead, Tony.
It's now 2019, so I think we should try to go for a goal of 2019 likes on this video.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
That's right, guys. 2019 likes with 55 people watching.
And all I have to say, man, is I really do want to apologize for me not being in tune into the Driver's Den because of everything else I had going on. I should have never scheduled myself for a block during this whole entire thing, and I will never do that again because I realized I wasn't focused and all that stuff to answer all the questions. So I apologize to you, Pete,
Oh, man.
Tony, and everybody that's watching.
Nah, there's no need. Let's put it this way: we appreciate the apology, but it wasn't even necessary, man. Because you know what? If anything, I screwed things up because I had stuff going on with my family last week, so I had to reschedule, and you were probably already scheduled for this time. So I don't take any offense or any problem to that at all. You know, so it's all good. I appreciate it, and I'm sure everybody else does too. So,
Yep.
On that note,
Go ahead.
yeah, UDM. I think it's your turn next week. Or is it Tony? No, yes, UDM's turn next week.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be on next week. I will let everyone know, including you two, what day I'm gonna go for. Okay.
Sounds good. Tony,
Right on.
sound good?
Sounds good to me.
All right, folks. So as always, thanks to everybody for tuning in. Of course, feel free to subscribe to my channel, Tony's channel, UDM's channel. Links are all in the description, including the entire playlist of all of the Driver's Den episodes. And that's basically it, guys. Make sure to check them all out. Share them if you could. Subscribe and smash that like button. We're going for 2019 likes, but actually we'll just go for 100 just to keep it easy. But anyway. Guys, get that money, get that honey. Keep hustling, keep bustling. And that's it, guys. UDM, thank you for being here. Tony, thank you for being here. And everybody here for being here. And we'll check you out later. Peace out, guys.
All right.